Hello, Gemini. This is your tarot reading for August 2015. Whoa! Alright, I will put this here. It insisted on coming up. And this is the sun. So, the cards have been pre-shuffled, and I cleared them with my crystal. I'm going to shuffle them a little bit longer, for maybe a minute or so, before I lay them out for you, Cancer, the water sign. And my professional name is Aire, A-I-R-E. I chose it because I am an air sign. I'm a Libra. And I chose wand simply because, you know, I like the aspect of using wands, of intent, using your intent. Wands are a fire sign, so fire and air kind of goes together. Air nourishes the fire. I've been reading tarot cards for a few years now. Oops. I'm also Wiccan, and I think that I can say, you know, I've been Wiccan since 2012. It's not even about casting spells or cursing someone. It's focus on yourself more than anything. That to focus on the supernatural world and to develop certain psychic abilities as well. It has to take a lot of focus and concentration and meditation. So, you know, it's not about being all-powerful for me. I'm not even invested in being called a witch, actually. It's been a wonderful path for me, actually, and it's changed my life in so many ways. And so many incredible things have happened to me since I became Wiccan. And so, the tarot readings, it just seems to be something I love to do. And I also have a bachelor's and master's in English. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to cut the cards. But because I have this English degree, I love literature. And one of the things I love about tarot readings is that it combines literature with the psychic and the supernatural. It's the best of both worlds. And I'm using the Rider-Waite Tarot deck, the most popular deck. If you are going to start reading tarot, many people would recommend starting with the Rider-Waite because the imagery and the pictures are just so rich, and you notice something different every time a card will pop up. And because there are just limitless possibilities with tarot, you can read these cards in different ways every single time you do a reading. And so I love looking at the stories of people. Okay. And while I'm shuffling, I'm also mindful that, you know, just gratitude to Spirit. A little prayer before the cards are read, thanking Spirit for the wisdom and the guidance and the clarity that will be given in this reading. So I'm connecting with Spirit. It's not even about me. So I'm hoping that you find this reading helpful. Well, that is interesting. A knight and a queen in reverse. And then the Magician. Whoa. This is interesting. Now, I'm going to put an outcome card down at the end of the reading, not right now. But very interesting indeed. Now your reading begins on a positive note at the beginning and ending, because the Sun is a very positive card. You want to see this card, even if it's next to negative cards, if it's next to like the Devil or Ten of Swords, it completely neutralizes that negative energy. And you also have Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups is the happily ever after card. Now, this is a general reading. It doesn't mean that it's specifically about love or relationships, but it can this is the card where you get married and you are happily ever after. If you see the couple with the 2 children playing and they're carefree, and this is the pinnacle of emotional fulfillment, because numbers in tarot, based on the lowest to highest, it can mean the ending or beginning of a situation. And so if we had Ace of Cups, it could mean the beginning of a relationship or beginning to fall in love or a new situation, a new cycle in love that's beginning. But when you get a 10 of Cups here, upright, it means that you've achieved you've realized your emotional dreams and you've reached fulfillment. This is your happily ever after card. And your first card was the Sun. So whatever is going on here in the middle, things are going to be turning out okay. This is the past, this is the present, and this is the future. Now, this Queen and Knight, when I see court cards, I usually see them as actual people in your situation. If I was doing a personal reading for you, it could actually represent an actual person. And the Knight, let me explain the Knight for those of you who are reading, who might not know all the specific meanings of the tarot cards. A Knight represents an energy of swiftness and intention. The Knight rushes in. It's a very quick, decisive energy. So that's the Knight. And you see here in the Knight of Swords, swords represents air. And air is the energy of thought, anything associated with mental energy and thoughts. So you have decision making, you have judging, you have communication, intellect, analyzing. And the Knight of Swords, when it's upright, can represent, sometimes it can represent a young man. The Knight represents someone who's young in his 20s. But it also represents the energy of the Knight, that this person can be very impulsive or reckless, but this person is moving quickly and decisively in his communication and his thoughts and his judgment. But it's reversed. So maybe this person is a little paranoid or not making the best decisions. There seems to be lack of mental clarity going on with the Knight. And then likewise, here in the present, this was in the past, but here in the present we have the Queen. And once again, the Queen as a court card can actually represent someone in this situation. It might represent you and this other person here. Maybe both of you, you're not able to make a decision either. And this doesn't necessarily have to be a man. It can represent a woman. But the Queen is a very passive energy. And when I say passive, it means that this energy of the sword, of decisions and thoughts and thinking and communication, this comes from a passive energy to where she's more of an internal. It works with the inner aspects of the energy. So this is a very internal, where you're thinking a lot, you're making decisions, you're not necessarily trying to control or master the situation. You take control of the situation through a more gentle and low-key angle. So the Queen, and if you can imagine the Queen sitting next to the King, and the King would be going out into a battlefield or going into, the King would rule and be more active and visible. This means that the Queen is more invisible. And the energy that she uses in communication and thought are more subtle. But there's still clarity. Upright, this means that this is, it's a female energy with clarity and judgment and wisdom. But it is in reversed. And I don't think there's a lot of clarity going on in the present. Now, how do we get from the Sun to this? Because now in the middle here we have 4 of coins. And this could mean a situation in regards to money or a job or a career. You see this man here, he's holding on to the coin. He's not letting it go. He's being a little selfish, but he's also afraid of losing. This is the miser card. A miser is someone who hoards money. And so whatever the situation is, this could be a situation that's incredibly, there's a situation that's positive, but someone is not being kind of selfish here. They're not taking a risk. They're not opening up here. Because this means closing off as well. It can mean emotionally being afraid to take risks. It's sort of like a selfish energy as well, that you don't want to share, you don't want to give. In spite of this positive energy here that you have, this person, there's no clarity. The sun is shining, but this person is not opening themselves up to this energy here from the sun. But it's there. And maybe it's you, maybe there's someone in your life who doesn't want to share their positive energy or open up to love, I think. That you could be trying to love someone, you love someone and they're not opening up, they're still closed off. And, they're a little distrustful here. They're a little insecure. and they're not accepting this gift, this new life, the possibility of this new life. So there's a rejection of the sun here. There's a closing off of the sun. And you notice the little discs here. We have pentacles or the coins, and then you have the sun here. And whatever it is, this person is hoarding it. He's not, this person, he or she, is not sharing. There's a lot of distrust and defensiveness going on. So moving on to the present, we still have a lack of clarity and judgment. And here's what's interesting. Remember, you're a water sign, and cups in the tarot means water. Now here's what's funny. You have two men who are sitting here. This guy has all the cups. This guy has what he wants as well. He's very happy. And it even seems as if he's gotten what he wants. Now, 9 of Cups is the wish card. And there's, one of the little interesting tidbits about tarot is that if you have the 9 of Cups show up, it means that your wish will come true. But in a more specific context, 9 of Cups means you are very content with what you have, and you're kind of gloating. You're self-satisfied here. You're happy because this is 10 of Cups here. So it seems as if there's this positivity that, there's someone is getting what they want. There is some emotional happiness here. So it's not like people are not getting what they want. It seems like here there's a closed off of acceptance, or someone isn't sharing or giving. But here it seems as if someone is a little self-satisfied here. Maybe the Queen of Swords, who's lost her clarity and judgment and common sense, I would say. Maybe this person seems to be a little bit greedy or even selfish. But you can see the guy, and once again, note what this guy is doing with his arms. We have swords in reversed, and we also get 2 very seemingly content people sitting down. They're by themselves, and they seem to, he's gotten all these cups for himself, and he's pretty happy. So maybe this person does sort of accept the gift, or gives into the positive situation here. But it ends up being a very selfish situation, because this person doesn't seem to, it seems as if this person will just take and take and take until he gets more cups here. Interesting. This might come into much clearer context. Let's look at the Magician. And the Magician is all about making things happen. Now, if you look closely, you will see that the Magician has the cup, the wand, the sword, and the coin. And he's holding up this scepter. This little sign, this little horizontal 8, it's a card of infinity. The Magician makes things happen. The Magician uses all of the elements. He uses air, fire, water, and the pentacle. He uses everything here to get what he wants. When he has intent to get something, he gets it. He's asserting his will, and he's raising his hand with the scepter, and his hand is pointing down. As it is above, so it is below. So he's actually manifesting and doing a little bit of magic here. And so we see here maybe a lack of judgment here, that getting what we want, we can get what we want. It can just make us lose sight of it. It can make us lose perspective in wanting to have this. And here it seems as if someone wasn't necessarily giving. They were a little selfish. But now it seems as if we're getting what we want, that this positive situation or dream or goal, it seems to be happening. But we're kind of losing perspective of why we need to have this so much, this relationship so much. And it may not mean it's necessarily a negative thing, because look at what's happening here in the future. This is the card upright, 5 of coins. This is the card of loss. The one word that comes up is, for me, is poverty, especially if it's relating to a money situation, that you're out in the cold and it feels like no one is helping you. But it's upside down. And so someone is helping you. Someone is giving. There is someone, you're not alone in this situation. There is someone willing to help you. So it's interesting that we still have this sense of prosperity, that someone is able to give. Someone is getting something. Because this is the 5 of coins in reverse. There's no loss. There's a gain here. You know, you're not out in the cold. You're not doing without. You're actually doing pretty well. And the interesting thing about this is water, this is water. This is a card of choice and options, that it can be the daydream card. And you can lose focus, and you see all these cups filled with different things. You have jewels, you have a castle, you have glory, the laurel wreath here. You see the beauty here, and then you see this little ghost under. This is interesting. You have a snake here, you have a dragon here, and then you have this manifestation of a ghost under a hood. All of these things you can have, and it's easy to get carried away wanting all these things. So there's a lot of materialism going on here. Just getting and holding on to things. And, you know, if this is about money, it can definitely mean being focused on getting money and keeping money, and just being able to have options, that you're afraid of losing money and you need to have plenty of it. You need to have that security, and you're determined through the Magician, once again, to get what you want. And it seems like that's working out for you. It's going to be working out for you in August. So this is the Daydream Fantasy card, but it also can mean procrastination, that you have so many things to do. You have so many options that you end up not doing anything. You're just constantly daydreaming and thinking about, emotionally, just avoiding reality, and you're just caught up in all of this. And if you look closely here, you even see a little skull here where the laurel wreath for glory. You see a little skull here, that there seems to be some premonition of a downfall. And you need to be careful about that, because it looks like your future, that you will be living the good life, that you will be surrounded with friends, and you'll get the relationship, but you can't lose perspective here. That there's a lack of judgment and clarity going on here. And a lot of emotional attachment to wanting a certain thing and being determined to get it. And it seems as if the saying, be careful of what you ask for because you just might get it, Cancer, and this is a water sign, it's right in the middle of your reading, you will probably get it. But just be careful here just be careful, because don't squander all of this good fortune, but also make sure that you get perspective and that you're grounded and you're stable here. But let's look at your outcome card. This should be interesting. This should be very, very interesting. You're happily ever after. You get what you want. But there's sort of like a little thorn on the rose here. That's what I'm seeing. Whoa. I'll shuffle just a little bit more. Okay. Your outcome card. Whoa. Now for the month of August, you know that August is the month of Leo, which is the fire. Leo is a fire sign, and this is the sun. This is very, very powerful. Whatever this energy is, Cancer, that you have, you're very determined. And you're going to stay focused. I think you're going to get some focus. You're not going to be daydreaming anymore or avoiding reality. I think that things are going to come together for you. And maybe you've been so focused on getting what you want here. And it's not necessarily, you know, like I said, you need to be careful about losing clarity, that you want to get something so badly or have it. And it looks like you will, that this will be a possibility for you now. It looks like this will be a possibility for you. And I think that this possibility for a happy ending is just going to mean as an outcome that you will just need more determination and drive and motivation and determination. I think that your energy to keep what you have, you know, I think that's what's going to come out of this, that you've tried to get what you want for so long, you know, because Ace of Wands, it means new opportunities and new ideas and just creative energy as well. You could be starting to write a novel, or you could be a musician starting to record an album. But it's the start of something great after you get this emotional fulfillment, this emotional wish. And it looks pretty good. I kind of sounded negative here because I'm looking at what's going on here, that you don't want to lose sight of the bigger picture. You know, it's not about the end goal. You know, sometimes it's better to look at the journey instead of focusing, oh, I want. I have to get there. And it seems like you will. So I would say that the month of August is going to be very fulfilling for you. And, I think maybe it requires you to take the risk and not be afraid or indecisive. Look at what you really want and try to make it happen. So, Cancer, that was your reading for August. I hope it brought you some clarity, but feel free to email me if you would like to get a personal reading and get more insight into your life. It was a pleasure reading for you. Enjoy the rest of your summer, Cancer, and I will see you in September.